Hey, cunts, don't forget to click the subscribe button.
Do I present the deals to my board first? Or
No. Well, you haven't. So far, all you've done is warm up the bank. You don't have any deals. Okay. So now you take those parameters and you make 50, 80, 100 calls, and you find 10 that will give you information that are real prospects, not suspects. And then you go through the LOI portion, letter of interest, you get them to sign. Then, and if those 4 or 5 deals, then you take those and you propose your first board meeting.
Okay, before the bank. Before I talk to the...
No, you've warmed up the bank.
Yeah, to the second time to the bank.
Correct. The bank is not going to approve the deal until you have your signed LOI and you're going forward. They'll give you a term sheet, but then you have to have a sales and purchase agreement or an agreement with the deal. The bank doesn't approve your deal until you've got a deal. They're not going to go through the credit committee and spend the money. And if the bank tells you that they want you to spend their money, your money for their quality of earnings, you tell them to fuck off. That's the cost of doing business. They will do a quality of earnings similar to your quality of earnings. So then they're not going to just believe. Now they'll believe Deloitte, but they will have to double check because accounting firms make mistakes. So they will have their own quality of earnings that they can go to the credit committee, and if it's a big enough deal, so then the credit committee can pass it on to the underwriters. And that's why it takes so long to do a deal with a bank, because they're covering their butt at every decision, and rightfully so, because a lot of people are screwing over the banks. Now, I'm not saying the banks don't deserve to get screwed over sometimes, but they're screwing over the banks.
I think you answered this a couple days ago, but I want to get an exact answer. Can you, let's say I got a deal, but you don't know if these banks are they say they're gonna do it, but I'm in real estate, so sometimes they fall off. Can you submit your deal to 5 different banks as long as you don't sign off that, hey, I submitted for this deal at other banks? Just for
I always show it to more than one bank.
No, but I'm talking about like if you go to 5 different banks and they all want to underwrite it and they say they can, they'll.
But only go forward with one.
You only go forward with one. Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
Out of curiosity than anything, but upon exit, who pays the remaining or the ongoing debt service that you've accumulated? What happens to it?
Well, it depends if they're buying assets from you or they're buying your corporation. If they're buying your corporation, they pay. If they're just buying assets, if they're just trying to strip the assets out of your deal, then you have the liability.
So upon exit, you want to sell the whole?
Yeah, you want to sell the whole enchilada, or the assets including the debt. You can sell the assets including the debt.
When you've got the bank, they usually ask you for a valuation to value the business. So if it has assets, yes, great, they go and value the assets. But so do you do that? And obviously that's an upfront fee and all of that, but you've got all your ducks in a row.
Well, now valuing the business, normally KPMG will give you a quality of earnings, and if you want, they'll give you a rough ballpark market value or enterprise value. And the banks, want that. But if you framed it correctly, the bank will not take you down the LTV, loan to value. See, you don't want them to go down the loan to value, because that's just how everybody loans money. You got a $10 million deal, we'll give you 60%. And let's say it's valued at $10 million, we'll loan you $6 million. That's not what we're doing here. That's the old LTV trick. And we're not doing that. And that's why you frame it. Remember, not every bank is going to say yes. Even when cash flow covers debt service, not everyone's going to say fucking yes. They won't like the structure. Thank you very much, fuck you, and you leave. And the banks will say yes, and then change, flip. You know, they're like chameleons. And you gotta make sure that you've got it framed correctly. You want to leave them as little wiggle room as humanly possible, or as Thomas says, divinely possible. And your questions in this group aren't dissimilar to the questions of other groups. You're not used to that. You have to have new nomenclature, new words. And if you just follow the fucking scripts, the scripts don't give them any wiggle room. I mean, pretty much zero wiggle room. And that's what you want. But not everybody's going to like it. And individual bankers may not like you. You may be the 5th QLA bot they saw this month. You know? And so, but it is truly a numbers game. A numbers game. And as long as the deal stands up on its own 2 feet and cash flow covers the debt service, there's no reason why a bank shouldn't do it. Doesn't mean they will do it. Because at the end of the day, they're only worried about, concerned about, care about the debt service, the credit being serviced on time. That's the only goddamn thing that they care about. Now, I used to say when I was in the hunt, which was the God's truth, I have never, ever not completed a deal that I started. I used to carry a letter around. And it fell apart. I used it so much. And then I laminated it. And it said, the bearer of this, to whom it may concern, the bearer of this in our 26-year relationship has never, ever not completed a transaction he initiated. Big, major law firm head, what do you call it? Yeah. Name. I carried that until it wore out, until it wore out. But they don't give letters like that anymore. Because guys like me then run around and use it 54 million times. And like the, what do you call papers where they found the scriptures? Dead Sea. It looked like the Dead Sea Scrolls after 4 or 5 years. And I'd start to pull it out, and you're going to show us the Dead Sea Scrolls again, Mr. Peña. We've heard about them. We believe you. So I just keep it in my pocket. Yeah.
So you just mentioned that you don't give a fuck about the loan to value. If they say they cover...
No. I don't give a fuck. They give a fuck. That's not how we're doing the transaction. It's not based on LTV like you're doing yours. Because I have never, well, this is maybe an exaggeration. I've seen very, very few manufactured homes, mobile home parks, where the cash flow wasn't significantly greater than the debt service. I can't off the top of my head even think of one, but because there may be one that I'm forgetting. If your deal isn't structured that your debt service is comfortably covered by cash flow, then you pay too much. No, I don't care. You're absolutely right. There's nothing in their bank constitution that says that they only fund up to 80%. Show me in your bank constitution. Show me in your, they can't. The same with SBA. Show me that I got to put up 10%. And then I pull out the fucking statute that I printed off the internet. What's it say right there? 100% federally fucking guaranteed, you fucking idiot. Don't cock me around. If you don't want to do the fucking deal, fine. But don't cock me. You can't do that. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. That's correct. And especially in the industry you are, they shit money. which you're just beginning to learn by looking at these deals. The industry average for mobile home parks, manufactured home, used to be 65% margin. 65% margin. That's for a poorly run mobile home park. Poorly run. 90% for a well-run. 50% if you're a monkey, 2-foot midget from Persia. I mean, the industry shits money. Right now, it just sounds the only shit, they're shitting on you. It's not shitting money. But it's not easy. I told you before, mobile home parks are hard to manage because you've got trailer trash. Correct. You got trailer trash. And quite frankly, you're not big enough or tough enough to manage these parks yourself. I can tell you that right now. Some cowboy's going to rip your fucking head off, and he's going to stick his dick down your fucking esophagus or whatever is left. But it shits money. It shits money. And when they have barbecues, don't go to them. Because you do. Because you do. When they have a Christmas party, you're probably going to get raped. So don't go. We had 1,100 spots, and we had a lake. And I get a phone call from the retired Marine Sergeant Major, one eyeball, teeth missing, carrying a gun. And he said, "We got a problem here, sir. Can you come down?" So I come down, and we had catfish with 2 heads. True story. It's on the YouTube, I'm pretty sure. Cat heads, 2-headed catfish swimming in the fucking lake. And the environmental, they fucked up the environmental. We were on a class 3 toxic waste dump. The lawyers pointed at the accountants pointed at it, and then the EPA guys pointed, big, huge liability. And so 70 or 80% of the mobile home park were snowbirds from Canada. They would come down during the winter and spend the summer or winter there. And we had a big town hall meeting. And I showed the catfish in a plastic bag. And the only way I could get them to come to the meeting, we had open bar, free food. Halfway through my conversation, and we had an EPA environmental film playing, and what can happen if your kids swim with... everybody just got up and left, and they're about their drinking, and they didn't give a shit. Not one person would move out. Not one. Not one person would move out. And then some of the students that we had, they burned a few mobile homes down over the weekend just for fun. And you get tricked, and they tell you should own the mobile homes. Wrong. You want to, better you have AIDS. Late stages death of AIDS than own these fuckers. You want this stuff, you bring your own fucking mobile home. You bring it there. So then when they burn it down, they own it. I told you we found a dead horse carcass underneath one time. There's a reason why they call them trailer trash. You will not have, I've never saw a cardiologist live in one. That's a guarantee. I've never seen a cardiologist live in one. Pardon? Oh, no, we might have had one Swiss person, but I don't know. But okay, there was a, yes, sir.
Mr. Peña, you said before the students mentees sell the portfolio, they go one more slash under the belly yesterday. Could you please elaborate on that?
No, okay, you're mixing metaphors here. Okay, I understand one more slash. You're going to try to drain money out one last time before you dump it, the portfolio. But what's the first part of the question? No, because you're trying to refinance and draw out the last dollar or the next to the last dollar out of a deal before you leave it. So you're drawing down the line of credit, you're refinancing the working capital loan, you're refinancing the whole deal. That's what I mean. Before you sell it. And now and then you can, prepay, you take that money and prepay your American Express. Unfortunately, most people that get hurt in bankruptcies are the little guys. I don't know anybody that's really got any money that ever got hurt by bankruptcy. I've only used the bankruptcy laws one time for one of the subsidiaries we had. We went in and out of bankruptcy in about 15 months. But I mean, it's tough. Okay, YouTube,